sees our work as critical to their agenda, and as quite often as the Global Fund to do further work, we'll think about how to enhance its work, particularly in developing countries. I think I'll leave it there, Premier. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I don't have to add much, Premier. What has been said, except to congratulate and thank you so much for your hospitality. I think it's, as Mike Rossman said, it makes sort of sense to be in Bermuda, which has been a leader in implementing the international standards on transparency and exchange of information. Bermuda was among the first ones to meet the standard and was among the few jurisdictions which started implementing the standard by signing tax information exchange agreements much before G20 put much pressure on that. Bermuda led by example in this area. And as a consequence, Bermuda has become vice chair of the Global Forum. It's a member of the Bureau of the Global Forum, we call the steering group. And it's not by accident you have almost 250 delegates expected to attend the meeting, the Global Forum conference tomorrow and on Wednesday. We now have almost 96 or 97 delegations to attend that meeting. It shows that we now have a global issue which is addressed globally by a global community with 101 members, another 15 to 20 countries joined the Global Forum by year-end. And as you said, in the Secretariat of the Global Forum, we are very keen to service all the members and ensure that all members, big or small, financial centers, developed countries, OECD countries, or 20 countries, are all dealt with on equal footing, all active, and Bermuda is very active. You had the first peer review report to be adopted, which shows very good progress and very good legal and regulatory framework. A few recommendations that are being addressed, and again, you're leading by example. And you've also been active being a peer, because peer review is about peers monitoring the fact that other partners implement the standards so that they don't gain a competitive advantage by not implementing the standards. And you have been asked in other peer reviews, I think Ireland was reversed by Bermuda, and that's something which is very good to have your input. And you have understood that enhancing the financial standard here, to do it, you had to be compliant with the standard. You're leading there, and I think that's very good for Bermuda, very good for business in Bermuda, very good for the each of Bermuda in the 20 community as well.
Thank you.
Mr. Media, do you have something on the media for Steve? You can just state your name, your organization, as well. Q&A. Any questions?
Yes, please. Madam President, 2 weeks ago in Derry Hotel, I remember the name of Professor Gilbert Norris, who represented the chief economist of the Arabian Basin Review, said that the attack information exchange agreements had been signed at a rate of knots on behalf of OECD by Bermuda and other countries were, in his view, unconstitutional. And went on to say that measures they had imposed on IFCs were not enforced on large countries. Can you answer that criticism?
Comments. One is that the OECD steering group and the Global Forum, the whole point of it is to make sure that you do have representative democracy. And by that is so that you have, look at Bermuda. Bermuda, many people, because of being underinformed or misinformed, assume that a small country that is successful, that they can't be successful unless they're doing something bad. Well, we know that's not true, because you do have a prevalent view, which is cynics and cynicism about small countries. I think it's attested to the fact that at the level of the OECD Global Forum, you have seen Bermuda elected as vice chair. And I think that certainly while we can't be judging our own cause, part of policy making and effective policy making is made when you have those who are going to be influenced by it sitting at the table. And I can assure you that it is not in Bermuda's interest or a member of the OECD, and certainly not the small countries of the OECD, to sit around a table and make laws that are going to be laid more punitive effect on our small economies and on our adult votes. So certainly from our position, certainly listening to the dialogue over the years, and even this morning, I think nothing could be further from truth. Now, you know as well as I do that the whole issue of the white list and gray list, I was very clear and uncompromising in my position as to the fact that it was not right that rules change summarily. And I don't know that I would put that at the feet of the OECs or necessarily, because you know that with the greatest respect for my politicians and politicians worldwide, sometimes there is a need as politicians to see and to talk the game. And what you saw was that before the time period that had been established and was clearly documented by the OECD to the benchmark for even assessing that those rules changed midstream and animated by action by the international statement and political leaders. So I don't think that sometimes politicians are able to insert their way into something that can change outcomes. I wouldn't say that automatically means brand the OECD as the demon or the angel. What it does mean, though, is recognition that as an entity, they have sought to foster inclusion inclusion and also recognize that it's important to have the right people at the table. So you've seen that when it started some years ago, when it started about 87 member states, it's now up to 101, and you've already heard that there's the very likely and current present recognition that for the end of the year you see 20 more countries at. These are 20 more countries that don't necessarily fit into the, I suppose, the definition of being large, influential countries. And no one would think that any entity can say that it has awards. But what we've seen from the approach of the OECD as another entity, that there's a recognition of having to screen in rather than screen out. And where there are rules of engagement need to be tailored and tempered with and also amended, and you can certainly rest assured that those of us who have a voice and stake in a proper outcome will certainly make our voice heard. Thank you.
Do we have any questions? Alex? Arndt?
Madam Premier, we've been doing the tea business for some years, as you said. A lot of the grassroots people don't really understand what that means to them. Can you break down?
I think that more often than not, Bermuda, like our jurisdictions, you know and I know, where do we get our money from? Our money comes from foreign exchange earnings, and it comes from two key sectors of our economy: tourism and international business represented by financial services. If you wish to see the people of Bermuda and their economic life worsened, you would see they would feel a flight of capital to our international business side, mass exodus from Bermuda. How do we prevent that? What action do we take as government and as responsible legislators and policymakers to prevent that? Well, we have to look at reputation, we have to look at a regulatory framework, we have to look at what we can do to enhance our attractiveness. Because it rests assured, if it was a flight of capital, it would have an impact in a very real sense domestically, in terms of those who rent homes, those who need people to circulate the dollars in the economy by buying, those who frequent our grocery stores, where Mr. and Mrs. Everyman work. So further to, and in addition to the significant treaty benefits that our team negotiates, whether in terms of college and whether in terms of other things, for instance, like the ability to have under DJ with Berlin, to have, I suppose, the cross-economic operation. In addition to those sorts of things, what Bermuda requires and dependent on is reputation and credibility. It's because more often than not, even sometimes the business will say that it costs a little more to business in Bermuda. And even that has changed. We're seeing it's very much more competitive than we used to be. What they will tell you is often the most singularly important issue is our reputation. And our reputation is maintained not by saying we're good, it's by the proof has to be in the pudding. As I said before many times, that we are giants, not grasshoppers, despite our small geographic size. And Bermuda hosts over 250 people, being the vice chair of the OECD Global Forum. It's certainly in addition to what we're doing with regard to Solvency II and with regard to keeping a legislative framework today, are benefits that Mr. and Ms. Everyman will feel going forward in the future. We've got to continue to raise the bar and to position Bermuda as the premier jurisdiction that is. We cannot rest on our laurels, we cannot be complacent, we can't just sit and cross our legs and say that we already reached a certain level, no more required. That is a certain recipe for disaster. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first of probably another press conference post. You have the opening tomorrow, which is going to also provide you with an opportunity, and also you will have a press conference on Wednesday post-facto. So I can certainly assure you that there will be many more bites of the cherry. Not that I get the sense that you're rooted.
Thank you.